Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to teach you a poem called Dust of Snow, which is written by Robert Frost. Before I start with the poem, I wanted to give you some information on the poet. Robert Frost's original name is Robert Lee Frost. He is an American poet and he belongs to the 18th century. He has written many poems, of which some 5 poems are remarkable. The poems are Dust of Snow, Fire and Ice, Mending Wall, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, and The Road Not Taken. He also won 4 Pulitzer Prizes for his remarkable works. His poems or his works usually examines on a common or complex social and philosophical themes. Now let us get into the poem. Dust of Snow. Dust of Snow is a simple and a short poem of just 8 lines which is split into 2 stanzas, yet with a deeper and a larger meaning. In this poem, the poet is the speaker. In the opening scene of the poem, the poet explains us that the speaker is not in a good mood, maybe because of some bitter experience. Because of this bitter experience, his mind, the poet's mind, doesn't allow him to go any further and makes him to remain stagnant. As he keeps thinking about this bitter experience, he slowly walks and passes by the hemlock tree. As he passes by the tree, suddenly he is able to realize a light shower of snow dust. And he immediately gets distracted because he wanted to know which force has made him to realize that light shower. So he just looks up on the tree. As he looks up, he found out a black crow which is sitting and shaking its head. Because of that action, the branches of the tree begins to shake, and due to which the snowflakes which is available on the branches started to fall on the head and shoulders of the poet. Now, by this action, the poet completely forget about the past thinking and the bitter experience. His mind now completely focusing on the present situation. This response is achieved, that is because of the stimulus which is given by the crow. Usually, crow and hemlock tree are called as negative references. But here, Robert Frost has made use of these 2 references in order to convert a negative situation into a positive situation. As a popular formula called as minus into minus is plus. Just he has applied that formula here. So 2 minus can make any minus into a plus. So here crow and hemlock tree converted our poet's life into a better one. From morning till afternoon, the day for the poet seems to be bitter. But the second half of the day seems to be brighter and light for him because he has overcome all his past. Before, he did not overcome the past. So, simple thing can make major difference, big difference, much difference. Therefore, we should not ignore any small thing. When God decides to bless us, He can choose any medium or means to bless us. It doesn't bother about the negative reference or positive reference. He can make use of any medium or any means just to help us. So, Robert Frost has made use of these 2 references and helped us to learn a big meaning out of the poem. Therefore, through this poem, we should not waste our time, because wasting our time will never make our day a productive one. Instead of thinking about the past and the bitter experience, if you keep moving yourself further, that will really completely entirely make your day protective. Therefore, let us all move forward, go ahead in our life and achieve whatever we wanted instead of sitting in one corner and thinking about all unnecessary and useless futile things. Now, let us learn the literary devices that are involved in the poem. You have nearly 5 literary devices involved in this poem. They are inversion, alliteration, assonance, enjambment and rhyme scheme. So let us see what is inversion. In the first stanza, the first 2 lines and last 2 lines are interchanged. That is why you have inversion in the first stanza. Then in the second stanza, first line you have has, heart, saved, some. These are all called as alliteration words because the pair of words which produces the same sounds at the beginning. That is why these are called as alliteration. Assonance. Shook down on me, which is the second line of the first stanza. In this particular line, shook down on, where O is the only vowel that keep repeating in all the 3 words. So O is prominent here and so we have assonance. Okay. Then you have enjambment. Enjambment means at the end of the poetical line you will not have any punctuation mark. It means the line is continuing with the corresponding line. So in this poem, in both the stanzas, you will not find any punctuation mark at the end. Therefore, you have enjambment here. And finally, you have the rhyme scheme AB, AB for the first stanza and CD, CD for the second stanza. Hope the viewers have received the message clearly and properly. So, kindly go through the poem and understand the meaning deeply. Thank you so much for watching my video.